I'm AJ Green. You're watching NFL in London.
All right, now that's recording, and this is recording too. Showtime. We got this going on. Looks like the power's on. Everything's good. Everything's good. It's podcast time. It is
reverse angle.
Reverse
time.
angle. You know what? We've been messing around, and
Wade just got new cupboards.
New cupboards. So I put them in. New oven. Stuff I smash all the fucking time. No, I got them starting with swearing. Behind the scenes of stuff. Look, we're gonna get into week 8 of the NFL. Wade and Ryan here talking about all the games that are gonna happen this week. London. Hey, we got games in London.
Yeah, and we found out £10 a ticket.
£10 a ticket, but you can actually get them.
StubHub.
Some people on NFL UK, so you can get them as low as £1.80.
£1.80.
£1.80 for a ticket. Now, look.
Imagine saying if someone said that you could watch. I'd literally watch any football game for £1.80.
The Dolphins, Redskins. I'd watch for £1.80.
100%. Yeah. 100%. If someone said you can go there and you can get if it was Atlanta, you can get a $2 cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You literally get wasted 20 quid.
So we're not going to put links up, but all you have to do is go on to StubHub or Ticketmaster.
Yeah,
You'll find out 10 quid. There was a guy I was doing a comedy gig last night, and I told you bought 5 of them for £8. And he was like, he's like, there's no way, and he bought 5 tickets for £8. So £8 each, £40 for 5 tickets. So good job, man.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta say, like the NFL London, as good as it has been, needs to up its games. Because they give us some dogs.
Well, look, so
they give you not like the only time it ever usually works out is by accident. Like they usually think it's going to be a terrible game, and it turns out to be, these two teams are actually good.
But we're joking ourselves. We think the NFL UK is any saying it. Like
I know it's not the NFL UK.
We would like the Packers.
I know it's not the NFL
yeah.
UK. I know it's nothing to do with that. Because I think it's the Packers and the Cowboys. The only two teams who haven't done it.
Cowboys have done it. We met Jerry Jones.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Cowboys done it. So it's the Packers. I think
Packers the only one. So the reason...
So
the whole motivation is if you're in, say, a construction or a building year, you have to come here and use it as one of your home games. That is one of the rules that they have.
Well, that's a fair enough rule.
Yeah. So
that's why Oakland's been on the road for like a month.
They're going to continue to be on the road. Yeah.
They've been on for this is their 5th game in a row on the road. It's insane.
That's why they're playing so well.
Yeah.
We're going to go through all the games. We'll give you our predictions, our little tips and hints. Also, we'll be partying. Maybe not Ryan, but Sunday night we'll be at the Princess Alex. Maybe he might come there.
I'm going to have an easy day of yelling at my team through an iPad.
It's going to be very easy. I have a big audition on Monday morning, so it's going to be kind of... I'm not going to mention the movie.
Well, let's just say if the Bears
win. Bears.
I expect you to nail it and get that.
I expect. I better. I'm not. No. Well, the funny
don't
thing
be
is,
like Trubisky. Just don't choke in.
So we'll use this as an allegory or an anagram or an algorithm. Ryan and I were at a pub and the girl just got robbed. Very shit. And the woman came just before you did and just did one of these shifty things. And then I was like, whatever. And then next thing you know, this woman, like your whole weekend has changed.
Dude, your weekend's ruined. Like you probably, worst of all, I was thinking is like, imagine this was like a date with this girl. And then he's just like, God, it was going so well.
Yeah. Like, this is the 3rd date, I'm going to have sex. Not going to happen.
It's going to happen tonight.
Unless, because this guy took her car keys.
But
and her shit, unless he set this up to make her stay at his place.
To be fair, that actually could help to his advantage.
Yeah.
Like being there through a traumatic experience of losing that. So he might get laid. So if anything, this might have pushed her to the end. You never know.
Well,
love is a confusing
Imagine
game.
if you planned a 3rd date where you're like, you had a girl pickpocket the date, so she had to stay here.
Yeah, maybe he set it up.
He sets it up.
Oh, don't worry, baby. You can come to mine. Don't worry.
Look, it's all going to work out.
Fine.
And then this girl at 3 a.m. drops off the keys. Hey, look what I got.
That is diabolical.
I know. That's why I'm glad I thought of it.
Yeah. And your go-to move.
Seriously, I wish I had go-to moves. So we're going to go through all the games right now. This is the second last week of games. Next week we've got Jacksonville and the Texans.
We're at the half-point time. Week 8.
Week 8.
This is insane.
Crazy.
It goes by. The problem with the NFL season is it goes by so fast, and your life goes by so fast. So it's almost like, as much as you want the NFL season to start, it just means you're about to lose 16 weeks of your life very quickly.
Well, that's what I call being a parent.
That's what I feel like.
Every year I look at my daughter, I'm like, where's the attitude? Where did you go? And that's what happened. So let's go through some of the games. We'll start with the first game, the Bengals and the Rams. That's right. It's going to be a sunny day in London, which is nice. We're going to be at Wembley Stadium.
In front of 9,000 fans.
9,000 fans. Look, Wembley can hold 90,000, but it's looking like they're probably going to be about 75.
It's a real...
15,000 tickets. If you want to fly over and get a ticket, you can get one for 8 or 10 quid. But we've got Cincinnati 0-7 versus the Rams. Rams, whose offensive line has sucked so far this year. Jared Goff has still put up some okay numbers. But will Woods, Cooks, and Cup basically destroy this defense?
It's up to... You know what? Cincinnati's just such a weird team. Even though they're 0-7, it's like they have players. It's not like they're the Dolphins.
And they've come back on some teams.
But it's like... But I think not having AJ Green has just killed them all year.
Well, they said
I've had him on both of my fantasy teams.
Yeah.
Just praying that he's going to show up or get traded. So you don't know because the trade line, I think, is this Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Trade line is this Tuesday. So they're probably sitting him out. If he's going to go, he's going to go this weekend.
Yeah.
But I think not having AJ Green just changes the whole. You lost John Ross. Like look at that offense. If you had Dalton, AJ Green, John Ross, Tyler Boyd, and Joe Mixon. If they didn't lose, Cordy Glenn on the offensive line hasn't played. If they lost Jonah Williams, their number one pick, their number one offensive lineman last year is a backup. It's just like they have players, and Cincinnati's just. I don't know. I think they got to get rid of Dalton. Dalton's gone.
Yeah.
I think you got to get rid of AJ Green. You got to blow the whole thing up. Just blow it
trade
up.
Dalton to the Bears. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you know what?
I would take Dalton to the Bears.
There will be a market for Andy Dalton, but but he's gonna have to fight for it. He's gonna have to win the job.
He will. But at the same time, look, the way Trubisky, and we'll get into the Bears game next. But the way this is playing, look, I can't see this game going any else but a Rams beating. Now, look, the one thing that has working against them is they're coming in on a Friday.
Yeah,
and coming on the Friday is a difficult thing because you have to adjust. You're not used to it. You don't understand jet lag, but you also understand things like smaller hotel rooms, different meals. You know, the first time that I come into a new place, especially when I come in...
What the fuck is a pasty?
Yeah, well, just the food that you're used to having, it's not the same...
It's
not the same kind of,
Well, no, they're still gonna have good food. I don't think it's just more... It's more of a time difference, especially if you're a West Coast team, like LA. You gotta come in earlier. Like, you gotta adjust. You're going even further than Chicago. Than Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I think they were on the East Coast before they flew in. I think they
Okay, well, if they did that, then that's fine. But I don't understand why teams don't come in Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let the players enjoy London for a bit. You know what I mean?
I think there's
wait, you think they'd rather be hanging out in Cincinnati downtown? Give them a couple days in London. Let them get acclimatized, adjusted to everything.
I think a lot of
makes
time
no sense. I think the team. I would like to see a stat that says the team that comes in earlier, what the record is compared to the team that comes later. I'd be very curious.
Well, we should look at that if anyone has those stats.
I don't know if anyone has that.
If anyone has a stat, we'd love to hear that stat.
Yeah, I'd love to know it.
I think it's also like there's always seems that one team has to come in earlier and one team decides to come in later. And it was the Patriots were the first ones to do it. Remember when the Patriots were here before? They were the first team because before the other teams would come in early, the Patriots were like, no, we're coming in late.
Of course,
and then
the
everyone
Patriots
set it up.
Doing the simple things no one else thinks to do.
Yeah.
No, I'd be curious to know. I think right now, I just think Cincinnati's got no hope. They're a broken team. They're lost. Rams, again, need this with Jalen Ramsey. Like, who are they going to... what are they? Is Cincinnati really going to score anything? I think it's going to be an absolute blowout. I say it's going to be 27-6.
27-6. I actually have it at a higher score than that. I've got 41-17. I've got the over/under in this sucker is 48. I just see a lot of points on the board on this one. Look, the Rams, have got some issues with their offensive line, which I think that is going to allow Cincinnati to score something.
To be honest with
you. If you look at it now, the Bengals do not have enough deep threat and secondary to protect. Goff is going to open up some stuff. He's going to find some space. Robert Woods, Brennan Cooks, Cooper Kupp. I mean, you're going to see a lot of deep balls.
But I want to see Todd Gurley have a good game. I think even fantasy owners who are
he should. You're hoping he has a good game.
Against Cincinnati, there's no excuse for him not to be able to bust some big runs. Again, 100-yard gain, 2 touchdowns. I want to see the old Todd Gurley. I think a lot of people really want to see the old. And if you can't do it against Cincinnati, then I just don't feel that.
Yeah,
Jared Goff's going to be this guy because we saw Jared Goff when Todd Gurley wasn't playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you want to put the hands in the hands of Jared Goff, but right now Todd Gurley just worries me. I worry for his career.
Well, he's going to have to have a good game.
Just out of the NFL in 2 years.
He's going to have a good game this week for sure.
At this point, no one's scared of Todd Gurley.
No, and I mean you have to look at this front line also of the Rams. When you look at like Donald and Brockers, they're gonna have a feast on Andy Dalton. That offensive line for Cincinnati.
Who's he throwing to? Tyler Boyd and Tate. Like
that's pretty much it. It's gonna be a blowout. But I think Cincinnati will be able to score some points because they've been here for a bit. They'll have a few set plays.
They have been here a lot. Unfortunately, see, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's just like, just give them Cincinnati.
Yeah,
give London Cincinnati.
Who's here with the Bengals? All right, let's move on to the next game. We'll move on to the Bears game after this. The Bears playing the LA Chargers, playing them in.
Listen, this is the
Chargers. Mitch Trubisky, and you've known my problems that I've had. They're playing in Chicago. Chicago's now 4.5 points. It was 3.5. Now it's 4.5. Mitch Trubisky's vision.
If there was a bowl, this would be the desperation bowl because this game is an absolute thing of two teams that cannot lose this. Chicago with Green Bay being 5-1 or 6-1. Are they 6-1?
Green Bay
6-1.
Yeah, 6-1.
So Green Bay being 6-1, they go down that they're down 3 games in the division. You can't go down 3 games in the division by week 8,
especially with Chargers team.
Especially to a Chargers team that literally. I just feel bad for the Chargers. That's all. Every week, I just feel bad for them. Like they blow games. Again, I've said this since they hired him. Anthony Lynn and guys like Anthony Lynn and Freddie Kitchens, who were like just positional coaches that get thrust into the head coaching job. Like you gotta learn. It just didn't make any sense to me. I didn't understand why Anthony Lynn got the job. I think Phillip Rivers deserves better. His defense is doing nothing. He's got Russell Okung back, which is going to help. But you got Melvin Gordon, who said, I want to be paid like Le'Veon Bell. He's going to get paid like $3 million a year next year at the pace because fumbled twice on the goal line. It's just Chargers being Chargers. That's a saying that people have said for years. I think the Bears are going to win this. I think they're gonna cover because I just have no faith in the Chargers. I'm done betting on that. I bet on them last week to cover, and they fumbled twice at the one. Like they just are the cardiac arrest team basically every year. So I'm gonna go Bears, but it's gonna be a close game, 20-17.
2017. Actually, fairly close. I got it 2018. The problem that I'm finding too is Trubisky sucks. He has no real QB vision.
It's a real sad fall.
His accuracy, and you look at it, and Brian and I watched the game last week together. You can just telegraph where he's going. It's like, I will throw a ball here. It's like when you play someone in Madden who only has the one play, and you just like, he's going to bloop that play. And that's what he's done.
Well, it's not even that. It's just also that he's always just checking down, and it's always just feels like, even if he does, the first option isn't open, he just dumps it off and give up play. When it's like 3rd and 12 and you throw it 3 yards. It's like, what are you doing? And Mitch Trubisky's in a real bad spot right now because a place like Chicago is not forgiving. And they have suffered quarterback misery for as long as anyone I know.
No, we have.
And just like people don't understand how hard it is to find a true franchise quarterback, one that lasts on a team for about 10 to 15 years. It's like, what? It's like 5 of them, 6 of them in the league?
Obviously,
out of 32? Like, that's not a high percentage. So it's and Trubisky does not bode confidence
we did trade up for him, instead of taking that Deshaun Watson, that crazy
Patrick Mahomes guy.
Whatever. The other problem I think we have is our offensive line. In losing Kyle Long, Bryce Callahan, is also, we got an issue
with your running game, too.
The running game has not been used, but if you look at the running game on the other side, what the hell's been going on with Melvin Gordon? They haven't used him at all. And Eckler, I think Eckler's going to be used more than him.
They had a really good thing with Eckler, and then Melvin Gordon came back, and it's kind of like thrown a wrench in there. Where it's like, we got to give it to Melvin Gordon. It's like Austin Eckler was doing great.
Yeah, he's punishing, he's putting
If I was Austin Eckler, would you be seeing this Charger team being like, well, fuck these guys. I'm just going to go play somewhere else. Because Austin Eckler,
any team would love to have him.
Even from a fantasy perspective, was absolutely killing it the first 3 to 4 weeks. And then Melvin Gordon realized that every week Austin Eckler was killing him, but because he's a first round pick, they feel like they got to give him the extra reps. They got to give it to him, and he's killing them. Why didn't you give it to Austin Eckler at the one? He deserves that.
No,
ball,
exactly.
Especially after he fumbled. Just Chargers being Chargers. That's
so I've got it 21-18. I think Chicago is going to struggle a bit. It will be at home. You will hear lots of Boo earns. Boo earns. Not the way you think. Okay, let's move on to our next game. Arizona Cardinals, New Orleans Saints. Arizona, 3 wins in a row. You look at it, New Orleans Saints favored by 10 in this game for New Orleans. But we've got Teddy Bridgewater. Kyler Murray.
It's Teddy Bridgewater because Drew Brees might be playing. I don't know.
I know. I think they confirmed it's Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
They should sit Drew Brees because they have a bye next week.
Yeah.
And just give him a couple 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're not going to rush him.
They're playing with house money is what they're doing.
You're 6-1. Why mess with your 6-1 10-point favorites?
They're 5-0 without Drew Brees. So
Chase Edmonds. Obviously, a lot of people didn't realize who he was and then picked him up in fantasy. Chase Edmonds looked to have a good game. Michael Thomas, Jared Cook, Latavius Murray against this Arizona defense, but Kyler Murray's actually able to score points coming back. They're 3-1. New Orleans is 6-1. Over-under in this one is 49 points.
Ooh, it's going to be an interesting game because I like what I've seen out of the Cardinals. I think they're just, like, Kyler Murray's been interesting because I thought he'd do much more damage with his feet this year because he's a quarterback. But, I think it's just because people say because he's a pitcher, right? He's just able to just sling it. He's able to just get it out quick and just put some real zip on it, which for a guy his size, he's got an arm, and it's quite
he's impressive. I've been very impressed with him.
What? And I think at the beginning they started off a bit wrong. Cliff Kingsbury and people were questioning it. I was questioning it. I think losing David Johnson last week, but then Edmonds came in, just got 3 touchdowns. So it just shows you, like in the NFL, like again, David Johnson's got a lot of money. If Edmonds can do more and work better in the system, does David Johnson go next year? It's just, I still think the Saints are the better team. I think they're going to win, but I think the Cardinals are going to keep it close.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's going to be, I'm going to say it's going to be 23-20 for the Saints, and they're going to win.
Close game. I've got it 24-14 for the Saints. I actually have them just actually hitting the over.
But not covering.
No, I've got to push. Push.
It's 10. It's 10.
10 points. 24-14.
Oh, they said 24-17.
24-14 is a push. 24-14 is a push. Look, Jared Cook is going to do well because Arizona can't basically protect against the tight end. Latavius Murray should have a good game in this as well. But Arizona is one of those teams that are going to keep coming back. They're going to keep fighting against you. They're going to keep running it. Chase Edmonds should also have a good game. But I've got it at 10 points right on.
Yeah.
Which are hard ones. I don't like betting on those games.
I think that could happen. I think it's in New Orleans. It's going to be different.
It'll be on New Orleans. We'll see what happens. But it's Teddy.
And that D looks good.
So we'll move on to the next game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Tennessee Titans. Tennessee favored by 2.5. Ryan Tannehill.
Terrible game.
Ryan Tannehill.
No, really, it's real shame because this would have been like the if you think about it in wrestling terms, if Mariota was playing, this would have been like the I Quit match.
Yeah.
Like wrestling where it's just like only one of us can last this year. Because right now, we're looking at 2 quarterbacks that could be backups next year.
Well,
I think Mariota 100% is going to move to another team and be a backup just like Tannehill.
Yeah.
I think Tannehill had a good game last week.
He played all right, but still,
he had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think Tannehill is one of those guys. He was on a crappy Dolphins teams with crappy coaches, crappy players. And he might have something in him, and I think he works better with the Titans because he gets the ball out faster. The problem with Mariota is he used to hold on to it forever, and then he gets sacked, and he just wasn't producing touchdowns. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you just need to switch quarterbacks, and signing a guy like Tannehill was a good signing because he was a first rounder who had a 4,000-yard season. Had a really
He's a competitor,
season.
man. He does compete.
And
he does work hard on it. So.
I actually will be interested to see the rest of the season. So I'm actually going to take the Titans to win this.
Yeah.
I think the Bucs right now are I just don't trust them. I think the Titans have a better D than people think. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 24-21.
24-21. Yeah, look, let's look at this quarterback class when you've got Jameis, Cam, Marcus Mariota. They're all fading right now, very quickly in their careers, very on the way out. Yeah. And so
Cam was further back, but but they're all fading out.
They're all fading out, and Marcus Mariota, I think, is going to watch this. Tannehill, we met him in London, bit of a dick, but very competitive bit of a dick. But he's very good at what he's sort of doing. Look, Delaney Walker should have a good game. Davis. He can move the ball around.
Corey Davis has been helping him, too.
He has.
He's been lost in that offense. And I think just Tennessee, you've done 4 years of Mariota. It's not like you haven't given it a chance. You've given it a chance, just like Tampa Bay. The problem with Tampa Bay is they don't have a Tannehill they can turn to. Because I think if they did, I think they would have turned to him. I think they have like Ryan Griffin or something. Yeah,
Jameis is just...
So Jameis is... You're stuck with Jameis.
He was bad enough. But Tannehill, the one thing I do like about unlike Mariota is Tannehill actually checks. He checks across. He's able to slot out the ball. I think Mariota sometimes would look and go, should I run? Do I do this? he sort of had this college quarterback in his head where he would hesitate and you said, hold on to the ball too long. His is like, what do I do? You could see him actually making the decisions in his head. It's like, get rid of the ball, man!
Yeah,
and Tannehill at least chucks it around. Tannehill's got an okay arm. I have this one 21-17. Just barely covering, but Tennessee will win at home.
We're pretty much all on the same page.
We're doing so far.
Literally every game we've been.
So let's move on to the next game. Hey, Denver Broncos. They're playing okay now. Indianapolis Colts after a huge emotional win last week.
I like this game.
This is going to be a great game.
bet this game. I'm going to bet this game.
I'm looking forward to watching this game.
I'm going to bet on Indy. Indy at home. I think
5.5 point favorites.
5.5 point favorite. That's a nice little run. I think because you got Joe Flacco, who looked absolutely abysmal last week. Got sacked like 150
times.
He
was so terrible.
And I think everyone in Denver is now just like being like, oh man, we're in for a way. Because what does Denver have that's even that great? You got Von Miller.
Emmanuel Sanders. Oh, no.
Emmanuel Sanders was still
Emmanuel Sanders traded his 49ers.
Old, so, yeah, he got traded. But he was a 31-year-old receiver. It's fine. But you have Von Miller, who's getting old. And Von Miller's actually a really valuable trading piece. And I think if you're Denver, what you have to do is, to be honest with you, is you probably got to fire John Elway and blow this thing up. Completely.
You can't fire him. You have to take him up behind the barn and shoot him in the head.
Like a horse.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because John Elway because he has failed. Like, this team, he is successful because he got Peyton Manning. Like, and Peyton Manning threw like 60 touchdowns that year. Like a ridiculous, not like 52, whatever, 55, I think.
Yeah.
But he got Peyton Manning. Like, you didn't groom a quarterback, and every quarterback you got, and Paxton Lynch has failed. Chad Kelly's failed. Drew Lock can't even get on the field. So right now, to me, this is
Brock Osweiler.
Colts at home. Jacoby Brissett looks great. This team looks confident. I have absolute confidence that the Colts are going to cover this. I'm going to bet this game.
All right.
I'm even going to bet this game because this is one of my guarantees I'm going with. And I'm going to say it's going to be 27-10.
27-10. I have a different way. I think actually Denver, after that humiliation they served last week, I think Indianapolis will be looking ahead of these guys. They're not even really thinking about it.
Frank Reich does not look ahead.
Yeah, I think he'll be looking ahead. But you know what? Flacco, that Kansas City defense really opened up and they were crap. This defense is going to put a lot of pressure on him. But at the same time, this Denver defense is going to put a lot of pressure on the Indianapolis team. So Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Denver, I think, is going to have to play one of these, like, we've got something, they got something to prove game. They're going to lose, but they're going to cover the spread. I don't think that 6-point spread is going to happen. I have Indianapolis winning this one 27, Denver 24, keeping it in, but Indianapolis will win, but they're looking beyond these guys. All right, let's move on to the next game. Hey, it's Seattle at Atlanta. Seattle coming off an emotional, hard loss last week. Atlanta coming off of another loss.
Man, the Falcons.
Like, the Falcons, it's like, have been poisoned by Alar or whatever.
Talking about horses being taken out back, being shot.
Dan Quinn.
The Falcons are a disaster. You know, they traded Mohamed Sanu to the Patriots, which everyone's like, oh, that ends the season. It's like, first of all, Mohamed Sanu is like the third receiver on Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu is not this game-changing receiver. So let's just pump the brakes on how amazing Mohamed
let's put it this way. Sometimes going to the Patriots is almost like going to rehab.
I think the Falcons right now...
That's what it is. You go to rehab. That's where these guys are going.
The Falcons right now are in a bad spot because you got to get rid... Dan Quinn's going to get fired.
Oh, he should.
So now it's... If you're bringing in a new...
And Matt Ryan's injured, so it's Matt Shaw,
Matt Ryan's going to be injured, yeah. But that's not going to change much in the season. The good thing is they're going to get a high draft pick, and one good pick could change it all. Because they still have Matt Ryan who's good. They still got Julio that's good. They got Devontae. But right now you need to just have a complete change. They need to get rid of Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
So if they get rid of the new GM... So guys like Vic Beasley could get traded, who's been really good. But right now, I think this is another, to me, easy game. Like Seattle, I would bet this one as well. Seattle, I think, are easily going to cover this against a Falcons team with Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not going to be able to move the ball. They're going to be in an empty stadium probably.
Yeah.
You know, is even
probably London ticket prices.
$1 pretzels aren't going to get butts in the seats. I think the Seahawks win this 27-17. And I think they cover. I think it's a great game. I'm going to bet this one.
Yeah, no, I think Seattle after that loss last week, and they're really sort of... The problem that they have is they do have a weak offensive line, and Russell Wilson is being chased too much. It's not allowing him to set up the running game. The defense as well, I mean, like, they've been up and down, so Clowney's got to step up in this game. He's really got to come back and hit this Atlanta team. If Matt Schaub is there and you've lost Mohamed Sanu, these guys have now, they're up and down. And so you're just trying to find the pieces to everything like this. I have Seattle as well. Winning this game, they should. 31-20. All right, let's move on. We've got, they're your team, Eagles, visiting the Bills. This line used to be 2.5. Now it's down to 1. 43 points over
This
under.
is the toughest game of the year to bet. Like, I'm not touching
Philly
this
at
game.
Buffalo. We talked about this one earlier.
Because to me, this feels like your classic Bills game that you're going to lose this game. You have this nice little record, 5-1. Go to 6-1. It'd be amazing because you have Washington the next week, 7-1. They have Miami again. So you can just really make a run. But this is one of those games. I'm not going to pick the Bills to lose because I can't do it. I want to, and I think they're going to lose.
Yeah.
But my heart just will not allow me. But my brain says Bills are going to lose this.
Yeah.
My heart says no. My heart wins every time. But right now, this is just Philly. They got a lot of questions. You know, they have no identity. Like, what does
They
Philly,
can win, they can lose, and they've been up and down.
What does Philly do well? They don't do anything well. They don't run the ball well
They got
because they got Miles Sanders. They're like
Defense is up and down.
No, but Alshon Jeffrey is like a statue out there. He's not fast anymore. He's lost a lot of pace. They don't have Deshaun Jackson, who's injured.
They're saying he might be back this game. Yeah.
He's getting into arguments with fans about his lack of effort. Zach Ertz isn't catching the ball. Their defense is a mess. I think just Buffalo at home with those fans. Again, Buffalo can't score 20 points. Actually, they will score 20 points because we're going to win 20-17.
Okay.
But it's going to be a close, low-scoring game because that's what Buffalo do. I want to see more from Josh Allen. I want to see him be able to spread it out, get a 300-yard game. Everyone in the NFL gets 300-yard games. I want to see that from him. And I don't think it'll be today, but it's going to come soon. But right now, Bills win this one.
Well, look, this is a Philadelphia team who also played very well against Minnesota. So, you know, they can be up and down. They can be crap. They can be beat by Detroit, but they can beat Minnesota. This, I see Buffalo as tired. They have been playing long and hard.
Again, yeah.
And they're at home, but they're 5-1. So you're second already in the division. You're doing really well. Really well. You're technically in the playoffs.
Okay, we're still one game behind the division.
Still one game. So I really have it, but I think Philadelphia really needs to own and open this one up. They're going to play deep ball.
It's such a desperation.
They're going to play deep ball, and they're going to have to get their defense going on Josh Allen. I have Philadelphia winning this one 31-24. All right, let's move on to our next game. We've got
Buffalo
Giants.
is not giving up 31.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Look, if a dildo can score on you, they can too.
Dildos only come out once a year.
That's what you said.
Once a year.
Lions at home, 7-point favorites. What's going on with these Giants? Look, they got Sterling Shepard should be back now.
No, I think he still might be out. Actually, I think
Golden Tate's coming home. Golden Tate's coming back home.
I think as I just looked up Sterling Shepard, I think I just have to replace him today because I think he's still going to be out.
As of yesterday,
the Giants have just been this team. Like everyone was on the Daniel Dimes train, and the last 4 weeks he's regressed every single week. He's gotten worse and worse, and I think it's a bit worrisome about.
But you're not
all
going to
the
throw him
people
down relay.
who prematurely bought their. Daniel Dimes jerseys after week 1. They're just like, take my money, please. I'm now starting to have a little buyer's remorse. Because right now, you know, Saquon Barkley is still, you know, he's still a bit banged up. He looked all right last week. Detroit's one of those teams, though. I just don't know about them. They lost Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big loss, personally. I think Matt Stafford's looking great. He had a good game last week, you know, a big game. 4 touchdowns to Marvin Jones. So nothing wrong with that. I think Detroit is going to win this, but because I think they've had a couple of rough weeks, a couple of real bad breaks, but they just were never close enough last week. So I think Detroit's going to win, but I think it's not going to be as high scoring. I think it's going to be 21-14.
21-14.
Just pushing the line.
Marvin Jones, I think, should have another good game in this one. Hawkinson should have another good game. Golden Tate obviously wants to come back and have some justice. Detroit has lost a few steps. The big thing I think that they lost last week was the defense. Losing Darius Slay and Jared Davis and Snacks Harrison. I mean, look, you lost almost 3 guys on defense.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing, especially Darius Slay was your best cornerback. He was slapping down and keep everyone down. So if Darius Slay is out for a while, you guys are going to hurt.
Yeah, Darius Slay I think he is going to be out.
He's got a few games.
He's one of the best corners in the league.
And so that's what the problem I have is they're going to isolate that position and drop, because you know you're going to try to find guys in there. You're going to try to put Golden Tate in that slot. You're going to try to open that up. So New York will keep it close, I think, but Detroit will win. They're at home. I've got a 27-23 for Detroit.
Have we literally picked every single game the same?
Yeah, we have. Maybe
no, the Bills
not the point spread, not point spread. No, point spread were a bit off.
I'm doing all point spread.
Yeah.
You do it all by point spread, don't
I do it all by point spread.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you've got Buffalo.
I think that's the only one we've been different.
Yeah, pretty much so far.
We've been pretty similar.
You should do well this week. All right, so let's move on to the next game. Jets-Jaguars.
I am due a good week.
You are due, and you know what? I'm due a losing week. I haven't had one since week 1.
So maybe this will be the kiss of death.
I haven't had one since week 1. Week 1 was my only losing week this season. Just so there you go. Check the stats. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Jets-Jaguars, 41.5 points. Jaguars, 6.5 point favorite in this one. This one takes place 5 p.m.
I like this game too. You know why? Because I'm going to go with the Jets. Ooh. I think after that game Sam Darnold had with the seeing ghosts and that thing, Sam Darnold has to have a good game. I think without Jalen Ramsey, this defense doesn't scare me that much. But I think if Sam Darnold doesn't come out and play well, this could be the defining thing that definition of definement that defines his career, and it's very important because as a quarterback, your confidence is massive, and you need to win the confidence back of your teammates. A lot of people did not like that he said that. It just made him look like he's a rookie.
No, but that got picked up.
And it got picked up, and it shouldn't have been aired.
But all quarterbacks say that.
I still think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Minshew. I think Le'Veon Bell needs to have a good game. I just think this is really 6.5. Jacksonville with Gardner Minshew should not be 6.5 point favorites over anybody, in my opinion. So I think this is a great game. I'm definitely going to pick this one as well. So I'm going to go with the Jets to actually win this one.
Okay.
I think they're going to upset them. I think it's going to be 24-20.
Well, you can already see my score that I've got there.
Oh, look at the same thing. No, I'm not looking at it.
So the problem that I had was Sam Darnold and the ghost thing. Look, quarterbacks say that when they've been hit and rattled, and it's an internal thing. It's not supposed to actually get picked up by the media. If you tell people I'm seeing ghosts, that means you've been hit and you're having concussed. And so, that whole thing coming out, look, he did get rattled. And that Patriots defense, I don't know anyone who's not going to get scared by them.
Yeah.
But coming off that, as I said, they built the momentum after having that bye week. You got Le'Veon Bell. Again, I don't think that the Jacksonville deserves it, especially after Jalen Ramsey being gone.
It's a big spread for a team that I don't think is that good, Jacksonville.
And it's being home at Jacksonville, and they are doing a promo at home.
No, Sam Darnold's going to come out and have a big
so
game
the promo at Jacksonville Stadium is giving away free meth pipes. So that's the problem you're going to have in the stands is everyone's going to be high on meth in that pool. I joke. But the one thing I did find was with him last weekend, he was always looking for Robbie Anderson. Everything Sam Darnold did, it was, where's Robbie Anderson? He was throwing it a triple coverage. He was throwing Stephen Gilmore, basically, covered Robbie Anderson, and he basically picked off everything.
Yeah, so, it was ugly. It was ugly.
So I have this one, I have them winning this game. I have the Jets winning this one 24-18. So pick that one. That's another bet. All right, so now we move on to the 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock games, or 8 o'clock games. 8:05 this game. This will be on.
How nice is that one week we get 8 o'clock games?
It's nice. As you get older.
It's such a gift, it feels like.
As I get older, these games stay the same age. 3 games at 8 o'clock.
I think we have 3 great games.
And a great game at midnight, 12:20 as well. Let's move on to this one. We're going to go to the first game. Carolina Panthers, San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco treat. They just picked up Emmanuel Sanders, adding to Jimmy G.
Yeah.
They had a tough win last week, tight one against Washington, but they're facing a Carolina defense and Kyle Allen that is now sort of invigorated. And what is Carolina going to do to try to stifle this San Francisco team? Can San Francisco lose their first game of the season?
I think, it's such a tough game, right? Because I think San Francisco, it's hard to judge them from last week because of that monsoon, because nobody could play well. That was like the equivalent of the Buffalo Snow game where you just throw out the tape.
Sure.
Like, what can we learn? I think right now, I think Carolina's been playing really well. I don't know how much I believe in Kyle Allen. I think, you're 4-0, but I'm not, do I see Kyle Allen as this guy who's going to be your quarterback for 10 to 15 years? No, I don't. So you have a big decision when Cam Newton comes back. Because I actually think Cam Newton deserves the chance to take this team. He's taken you to the Super Bowl. He's been an NFL MVP. I think he should get the opportunity to win this back. I think Carolina's going to keep this close. Ooh, but it's such a tough game. Actually, I'm going to go with Carolina to win this. Kyle Allen to go 5-0. But I say it's going to be 23-20. It's going to be a close game. But I think the Niners, as good as Emmanuel Sanders. Actually, with Emmanuel Sanders, it'd be nice to see if their passing game picks up a bit. Because right now, Jimmy G hasn't blown me away. They've been a running team. They've been almost like Baltimore last year, just running over everyone. And to me, that's not going to get you to the Super Bowl. Being that running old school 1990s, 80s football team. So I'm going to go with Carolina to take an upset.
I'm just going where the defense is and the best pass rush pretty much that I've seen in this league, which is San Francisco 49ers.
It's great.
Look, Kyle Allen has not faced this kind of defensive pass rush, and San Francisco is going to be his face. Their defense is good. It's strong. Their front is good. They're going to shut down the running game. But I look for George Kittle in this one. I'm hoping that he's actually going to have like an 18, 20-point game, which I think he could. Jimmy G is going to do a lot of short routes. He's going to do a lot of quick outs. He doesn't have to go deep on this. They're going to try to run the game, but it's not going to go as well as they think. But I still have this a tight game. I don't see them winning it by 6, but I have it 30-26. Let's move on then. Cleveland Browns against this New England Patriots. Who are they? They're favored by 11.5.
Those bad news bears.
But this is down. This was down from 13 points. So this is dropped.
I'll tell you what. When Cleveland started this season, I bet you they never thought they'd be 11.5-point underdogs in a game.
Oh, I don't think they ever thought they'd be 2-4 at this point.
People were talking about like Cleveland division, Super Bowl, and now they're 11.5-point favorite.
But none of us talked about
with
that.
With Odell Beckham, with those weapons, they're 11.5-point favorite. That's insane to me. That just shows you the amount of disrespect that Cleveland's been given. I think that is in itself going to be a slap in the face. I think that's what's going to keep it close. I think the big main player in this whole entire game is going to be Myles Garrett. If Myles Garrett can get to Tom Brady, Myles Garrett's been awesome. He was awesome last year.
And Tom Brady,
awesome,
and they don't blitz as well. So.
And again, Cleveland's got both their corners back. They got Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward back. They got great corners. I'm not worried about Sanu. I actually think Cleveland's going to keep this close. I think the Patriots are going to win. I think it's going to be 31-24.
Wow, 7 points.
I think Cleveland's definitely going to cover. I think they're going to be able to move it. And it just feels like finally New England gets to play somewhat of a competent offense.
Yeah.
The only problem is that offensive line of Cleveland with that blitzing defense, if they do this, if they go like 3 picks, that means they'll played Josh Allen, Darnold, and got 3 picks out of, and that's like 10 picks.
Yeah.
So, and he's got Lamar Jackson, so they're gonna have all 4 of the 2018
destroyed.
Come on, Baker Mayfield, do something.
Look,
that's all I say. I think he's gonna make it close, but they're still gonna lose.
They're gonna lose. They're definitely gonna lose. Yeah. Look, the one thing I do say when you talk Myles Garrett, I think that's the one key that they have is don't blitz Brady. Keep pressure on him, but don't blitz because he loves to blitz.
That's when you're best at him. Yeah.
So keep it, and they just stunt blitz him. Don't always hit him. Keep it back, but play enough pressure on them that you're not doing it. That's the way, and I think Myles Garrett can disrupt them. The problem being is that Patriots defense, and I can't see Baker Mayfield being able to do anything. Also, Stephen Gilmore, even when you throw that ball up, this guy's the best cornerback right now in the league. He picks off everything.
Well, he learned all his skills on the Buffalo Bills.
But he is also going to be faced against OBJ. So every ball that you go deep on OBJ, when Baker Mayfield goes for a desperate pass off his back foot, Stephon Gilmore is going to get there before OBJ does. Chubb, I don't see any room for running.
I don't
this
feel
Patriots defense is going to be ready. I have this one 42-21.
Ooh,
21 points. A whooping. Another whooping. Patriots keep moving on. Raiders facing Houston Texans. Pardon me. Houston 4-3 now. Oakland 3-3. But Houston 7-point favorite this one and a 51.5-point over/under. Deshaun Watson has been playing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Deshaun Watson.
His O-line, Oakland has been punished, but they still score. Tyrell Williams might be back this week. Josh Jacobs continues to look like the best running back.
But I think Josh Jacobs might be a bit banged up. I don't know if he's going to play. I think he might. If you can check that out, I don't really know. But if he doesn't play, I think they're in a world of hurt because I think Josh Jacobs has been the best rookie out of the whole NFL this year. So if I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs that he's not going to play. I think Houston at home has got this. I think Oakland's this is like their 6th road game in a row.
Yeah,
counting London, which is their home game. I think it's just taken its toll on them. I think they're going to be a bit sloppy, a bit messy. I think Darren Waller's been great.
Yeah.
He's their only real weapon.
Pretty much. Good tight end, having
they
fantasy.
Absolutely lost. They traded for Zay Jones, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Houston's got this in the bag. I think they're going to win easy. I think it's going to be 27-17. And Deshaun Watson's got this. But again, I still have questions about Houston. I need to see more consistency. But Oakland's been keeping it close.
No, they have.
Until they make that inevitable mistake.
They made some mistakes. They were keeping it tight with the Packers last week as well. They were playing it well, and their defense sort of gave up. The one problem I have with this is that trade that happened this week. Gary and Conley was traded from the Raiders
to Houston.
Yeah,
I know.
And you've got a guy who's an amazing quarterback who knows everything about your team.
Come on, Mike Mayock. Which is another reason why.
So when you play a team that used to be your team and you're sharing the playbook, not everyone's going to learn the playbook. This guy is going to give all the secrets away. He's going to tell them and go, this. This guy was preparing for this trade. Anytime you have a trade like this, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So there's no way that they come close to this. I have Houston 35-26. They'll still score some points. But Houston, Deshaun Watson is going to crush it. Let's move on to our Sunday night game, 12:20. Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs. Would have been a good game a few weeks ago. Deshaun Watson is
game
out.
Of the year.
Met Moore is in. Met Moore. Yes. And you had Aaron Rodgers put up one hell of a week last week, 430 yards. Kansas City defense proves they're not as strong as they used to be. Green Bay is going to probably have to use the running game as well on this one. But Andy Reid, can you count him out? He's at home. They're at home. So with the Chiefs preparing for the Packers at home.
Aaron Rodgers is not going to lose to Matt Moore. I just don't see that happening. I think if this would have been game of the year, I would have been so excited. I would have stayed up till 4 in the morning. Actually, 3:30. It would have been an early night.
3:30, yeah.
It would have been an early night. But I think right now, Matt Moore, I'm just not sold on him. As good as Andy Reid is, he's not a miracle worker. I think you just don't have, even though you've been at home where you have been beaten pretty easily at home. And I just don't think, I think Aaron Rodgers still, and he's playing really well without Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit. Aaron Rodgers is spreading it out. Last week he was unstoppable. I think he's feeling himself. Mm-hmm. I think Green Bay is going to win this. I think it's going to be 27-20.
27-20. See, I don't think this is going to be I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a very close game as well. Andy Reid, they're at home. They need to prove that they can win without Patrick Mahomes. This is it. Straight up. Tyreek Hill, the rest of the game, they're going to prove this. They got Matt Moore. It doesn't matter, though. What I'm saying is you're at home and you've got some really deep threats. Green Bay Packers have a great defense that comes at you very quick. They stop the run. With the deep ball, not so much. That was shown to them but by other teams that have beat them with the deep ball. And this is something, even Oakland hit them with some of the deep ball. The deep ball is going to hurt them this week. I have them winning, but by 1 point. I have it 28-27.
Ooh.
Move on to the last game. Look.
The worst,
even cares.
It's going to be the lowest rated watched
Dolphins,
game of all
Steelers. It's in Pittsburgh. We don't like to talk about these games. This is a Monday night game. 43 points over under. Steelers favored by 14.5 points. Look, we don't like to talk about the Dolphins.
No, it's going to be a terrible game.
0-6 Dolphins, Pittsburgh. I've got this one, Pittsburgh 34-13.
Duck Hodges versus Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually think this is a tough one because 14.5. To a third stringer quarterback to be a 14.5 point favorites against another NFL team playing their starter is the ultimate slap in the face. I think Miami,
but it's Miami
definitely not going to lose. I don't think they're going to lose by 14.5. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with the upset special. Because I feel like just having a little fun. I'm going to go with the Dolphins to get their first win on the road. 17-14.
17-14.
Just for fun.
Ryan has just called his first upset. Miami's first win of the season.
I'm going to give him a little love.
Yeah, you should. So, folks, if you want, find our website, NFL London. We always give you all the tips and hints that you need to know. Also, you can find anything you need to know about London. We will also find our DraftKings picks. We'll be playing in our DraftKings League, NFL in London. We've got some new betting options coming up. We'll be going to a bet profit party tonight. At least I will be. Ryan's got to get ready to clean up for his wife. But that's it. Come see us every Sunday. We'll be at the Princess Alex this week. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Good luck with your picks this week.